Proverbs 11:10 says, "When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy." Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34 says, "Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." Recently, I applied for a new position at my job, and when I got it, I was surprised, excited, and encouraged about it, but not nearly as surprised, excited, and encouraged as I was about the reaction of my peers. Immediately when I got the position, I knew it was the favor of God causing me to increase within the company. But what I didn't realize is how my prospering within the company would bring so much hope and joy to others within the company as well. Seeing that the company that we worked for was integral enough to acknowledge the good within itself seemed to boost the morale of everyone overall. I was surprised to see how when I got the new position, so many people congratulated me and were genuinely happy for my success. It was almost as if my success was their success. No one showed any jealousy, envy, or discontent, but in general, everyone seemed to be genuinely happy with the decision made by management to exalt, acknowledge, reward, and place a higher trust in the good. I said all this not to boast or to toot my own horn, but to draw attention to the Word of God and to give an example of how God blesses an establishment overall by way of the good, by way of the good that they acknowledge within themselves. And also to show an example of how one person's good can mean the blessing of an entire establishment. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 11 says, "By the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked, it is torn down." Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1 even says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but a foolish plucketh it down with her hands." You'd be surprised at how the morale of a company, church, family, or any organization is affected by the way it sees itself and the value it places on its members. Vice versa, you'd be surprised at how one person can bring value to an organization by way of how that person views that organization and the value of their contribution to it. I see the same principle applies with my own kids at home, that when they are appreciated for what they do, they are more inclined to willfully help out around the house. They are more inclined to willfully help out around the house. And when I entrust them with the responsibility of doing a job because of the value I see in them, it's a totally different experience cleaning the house than when I'm just ordering them around or bickering all day about what they need to do or what they didn't do. As the leader of my house, I realize that my kids know right from wrong just like I do. However, it's my job to help them to realize it, or in other words, help them to realize the knowledge of God they have within themselves. Simply put, it's my job to bring out the best or the good in them. I see that I can do this best the same way that my company recently did for me, by acknowledging, promoting, placing a higher trust in, and rewarding the good I see inside the members of my own establishment. The key verses for today come from Proverbs chapter 11, verse 10. "When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy." Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34 also says, "Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people." Proverbs chapter 11 says, "By the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is torn down." Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1, last but not least, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." Have a blessed and wonderful day, sharpening always and forevermore. May grace and peace be with you.